Hey guys, hey, welcome to my gardening adventure, and for today's video I've got a couple of things lined up. So first of all, I'm going to give you guys a personal review on the soils that I have been using as a new gardener and see how they worked out for me. I'm also going to show you guys some seeds, and we're going to grow some of the seeds that I have for my cutting plants, and you'll see what those are. And also some of the other seeds that I have that I will wait a little bit longer. For the record, it is March 11 today, 2023, and I'm in growing zone 5A in Chicago, so my last frost date is on May 5th. So first of all, like I said, I'm going to review some soils, and the first one I'm going to start with is the Burpee Eco-Friendly Natural and Organic Seed Starting Mix. And I'm going to give you my take on why I either like it or I don't like it, what I found, what I didn't find, what was missing, what was added, things like that. So for the Burpee Organic, it does say enriched with Burpee plant food, and it's supposed to promote delicious vegetable and herbs. It is also made with coconut coir, unlike peat moss, a renewable and sustainable resource. I'm reading this directly from the packaging. The packaging would make you think that this is going to be a fancy, good quality soil, because I mean it's a good quality packaging from Burpee. As far as the price, I thought this was a little bit pricey for my personal take. It was around $7 and some change, maybe $8 and some change. I got this at Lowe's by me in Chicago, and like I said, it has 8 dry quarts. I like how they said dry quarts because I'll explain a little bit more on that. The other soil I'm going to give you guys my take on is the Miracle-Gro Seed Starting Potting Mix. And so first of all, for the Burpee Organic, these are the things I found. It comes more dry, just like it says 8 dry quarts. It's dry enough to the point where I found some like little pebbles of coconut coir still stuck together, and I had to mash them up so they would get unstuck. And that's because of how dry it was and how close it is. Now it says that it already comes with fertilizer, but I don't think it's the right medium for me personally, because I planted some plants, this for example, and it's my brassicas, and they're not doing as good and they're not as big as some of my other plants. I know they're different, but being planted around the same time frame, I figured I would have something a little bit more bushier, but I don't. So that tells me it's lacking in nutrients for those plants because of the medium. It doesn't have any perlite, so it's just the coconut coir. So definitely it needs more things. It doesn't have any sticks, obviously, and you know, it was manageable, easy enough. It does retain water well, but it also dries up. I don't know how that makes sense, but to me it does. I mean, you literally have to try it out. It's wet, but it gets dry faster. I don't know, maybe it retains water for a certain amount of time and then it dries. You guys would have to try it out to see what I mean. The Miracle-Gro soil, that one, now I have something why I didn't. Here's the thing. I'm just giving you my personal take, right? So take it with a grain of salt, or you know, if you think anything else, let me know. I found that the Miracle-Gro actually potentially carries more fly nets, and I want to say that I'm 99% sure that it does, because once I started using it, I was actually seeing more flies come around than versus the times when I was using the Burpee. So the way I can tell that is because I have some traps for the flies, and I noticed there were no more flies gone, so I figured, okay, this is done, they're done. I used the Burpee and I didn't get anything afterwards. I used more of the Miracle-Gro and I noticed them coming up again. The Miracle-Gro is also more moist, so I think maybe the eggs are still alive in a soil that is more moist versus the one that is drier. I like the Miracle-Gro because it seems to come from compost, and it does have perlite, and I don't have to add anything else to it. The Burpee doesn't, but you know, I don't have a sifter, and I did have to remove a lot of the sticks that come in the soil. I didn't mind that because I'm getting what I'm paying for, right? But overall, I would use the Miracle-Gro more, and it does say specially formulated for fast root development, and it is also enriched with Miracle-Gro, and it's 8 quarts of dry seed starting medium. So I think I already mentioned it, but I was able to also get about 35 soil blocks of about 2 inches by 2 inches. So I definitely think I got good enough soil for my dollars. So that was my review on that. Now on to my next part, and that's probably my favorite part. I am going to be sowing some cutting flower seeds, and the first ones I'm going to go with is going to be the Aster China from Bakercreek. A lot of these are actually from Bakercreek. You can't tell very much because I have some bright lights, but that's what it is. Marigolds, I'm going to give this a try. These are supposed to be the ones that we use, or Mexico uses, for Dia de los Muertos altars, and it says 4 inches across, and they're the Orange Hawaii from Bakercreek. The African Daisy, I'm going to give it a go for this one too. This one is relatively a big seed, so I don't want to use it all up at once in case I need to germinate more. What I don't want to be stuck with is big seed, big seedling. And I'm running out of room back here, so I'm going to put my brassicas out and then I'm going to grow some more, but right now I'm going to start with a couple. Got the Camphorina going on. And all of these that I'm showing you are actually supposed to be sown, grown or started indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost date. So I'm well on my way to being on 8 weeks in just a couple of days. The next one is the Copper Red Straw Flower from MI Gardener. More Camphorina globosa. Status. You can't tell what they look like on these, but online they look very cute, so I'm gonna give it a go. Aster Apricot. Aster Valkyrie mix. Calendula. And one of my favorites that I'm so excited about, very excited about, the Livingston Daisy from Bakercreek. I saw somebody post some pictures on one of the Facebook groups that I'm a member of, and they just look so beautiful, and I said I need to get these before the end of the summer, the first of spring. You get it. I needed to have this. So look at how cute they look. And they are supposed to be drought tolerant. I have some areas in my yard that could have these. Next one, straw flower. And finally, these were some gifts that somebody sent me from California, Bachelor Spartan. I'm gonna start some of those too. I do have other seeds that are waiting for me to plant them, and I'm gonna tell you when I'm gonna wait, because most of these are supposed to be warmer type fruits and vegetables and plants, and I don't want to risk obviously having them all die before I get to set them outside. Cucumbers, for example, my sunflowers are going to go outside directly. Corn has to go outside directly. You know, melons outside, squashes outside. Now you could have asked, hey Belen, what about zinnias? Guys, I won't forget about zinnias. They are some of my favorite plants, and I do have them, so I will definitely be growing those. I have some puppies. I think I'm going to throw these puppies outside directly in the soil just so I see what I get. I started some indoors, and I don't think they're meant to be grown indoors. You see my beans, and you get the point. My peas too, I'm going to set them outside. So let me show you, like I said, I'm going to show you the seeds and what they look like so you have an idea. And if you see the seeds in the future, you will know what type of seed it is. So stick around. So before we move on, I actually want to show you guys a comparison of the soils. Like I said, I was going to show you. Here we have the Burpee Organic. There you see it. and then we have it compared to over at the Miracle-Gro on this side, which is darker. You can tell that it's a little bit more moist than the organic. The organic, I also mentioned, it's a little bit more clumpy. I do have to put some pressure into it so the clumps can break up, and this is what I mean that I think it's a little bit more sandy. I mentioned it didn't have perlite, but looking at it, it does seem to have perlite, just a little bit less than the Miracle-Gro. I would suggest that if you use these, you actually mix them around the Miracle-Gro with the Burpee so that you can get all the nutrition that your plants need. The Miracle is compost. The Burpee is coconut coir, so that's what I would do. I wouldn't necessarily get them, but if I want to mix them, I would get both of them and just mix it like that, and that will get you probably the best results. But I wouldn't use the Burpee on its own just because it's lacking some nutrition is what I call it. So, you know, just my examples. So here I'm going to show you the bachelor button seeds, and we're going to compare it to a pepper seed. Here is the pepper seed, here is the bachelor button seed. Here we have the Gomphrena seed, pepper seed, and the package. This is pretty much showing you guys the same thing, just with the seeds. So alright guys, so here are my soil blocks that I've already prepared. Altogether I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 rows. All of these rows are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these rows are 5 soil blocks, and the last are just 4 soil blocks. So we're gonna start off first with the Gomphrena that I've already showed you. And I have actually never worked with Gomphrena. These are all new from Bakercreek. I will not be sowing a lot of them. I think of the Gomphrena, I don't want a lot, so I'm going to be doing it over on these short rows. I'm just going to do 4. And I am going to plant just 2 seeds per block. And one of the advice that I've seen everywhere is to make sure that the seed makes contact with the soil. So I think that looks pretty good. The reason why I like to only do 2 seeds, I've already explained it before, but I'm not going to waste a lot of seeds. And if I want to regrow more, then I will have that opportunity. One other thing that I want to mention about this Miracle-Gro soil is that it does seem like it comes from compost, so you are going to find a lot more sticks. I personally don't sift it. It works for what I need. Maybe you will need it to work for something else. But just 2 seeds at a time. So if you guys have any tips for me, let me know. I think in one of my other videos I mentioned that I probably sowed my seeds a bit too early, and I was a little bit scared, but it's towards the middle of March now. We still had some snow, so we'll see how it keeps going. The next one that I'm going to do, actually one that I don't want a lot of. I'm not sure which one I don't want a lot of. I'm gonna do the African daisy on this other one that is just 4 blocks because it is quite a big seed, and I'm thinking that it's going to grow very fast, and I'm only planning on keeping it on these cell blocks until I have to move it outside. So I don't want too many plants of these. That's why I'm not gonna sow a lot of them. And I will get some updates obviously later once they start germinating and see how they're going. But just because bigger seeds grow a lot faster, I'm afraid that putting them this early will give me an issue down the road. With this one, I'm still doing 2 seeds. It'll give it enough space. If I need to thin it down, I can leave it to just 1 plant. And I still have a lot more seeds left over. Actually, Bakercreek gives you a really good amount of seeds. You could literally start a whole planting business out of all the seeds that you get with Bakercreek, and I really appreciate that because I thought it was a big expense when I was purchasing Bakercreek seeds. But now that I realize how much they're giving me, I am very thankful for how much quantity you get. All right, so I've done that one. I did the Gumfrina. Also, one of the other things that I'm missing, make sure that you label this. Alright guys, so this is where I've planted all of my seeds, and I did label them. It's very important that you label them. I know that this one is this one and this one is this one because I am going to spritz it with water. This is just regular water. It's a regular water bottle. And the reason why I'm spritzing is because I want more moisture on the seed. So just a quick spritz so there's more moisture on the seed. The soil should be pretty moist, but I just want to ensure that there's good contact with the soil and the seeds. So that's why I'm doing that. I am also going to plastic wrap it with just regular plastic wrap and create a humidity dome, if you will. One other thing I want to mention before I leave you guys is about the soil. The Miracle-Gro does have a lot of sticks because it seems to be composted, but it's just easy to pick it up with your finger and just remove it. I don't sift mine. Alright guys, so that was the end of this video. I hope that I was able to teach you something. I hope that you can teach me something, and if you have any comments about anything that I talked about during this video, let me know. I'd appreciate some comments below, and I'll appreciate some likes if you like it. But again, until next time, bye.